The platform lights are humming in a yellow, sickly glow. The midnight train is pulling in, deliberate and slow. I find a window seat facing the direction we once went, counting all the station stops and all the time we spent. My reflection in the glass looks slightly older than before, tracing out the avenues we promised to explore. The conductor punches tickets with a heavy rhythmic sigh. I watch the sleeping city as it quietly rolls by. A midnight train to nowhere, a ticket for the past. We built a paper castle, but we knew it couldn't last. The rhythm of the iron wheels is beating like a drum, singing songs of yesterdays and tomorrows yet to come. Where our old secrets sleep. A midnight train to nowhere is the only date I keep. Your voice is in the static of the intercom overhead, telling me to bundle up before I go to bed. I left your heavy woolen scarf across the velvet seat, a monument to winter days when we would softly meet. The suburbs fade to countryside, the darkness taking hold, just like the quiet distance that made our story cold. The coffee from the dining car is tasteless, black and thin. I stir it with a silver spoon and let the ghost back in. A midnight train to nowhere, a ticket for the past. We built a paper castle, but we knew it couldn't last. The rhythm of the iron wheels is beating like a drum, singing songs of yesterdays and tomorrows yet to come. I ride along the memory lines where our old secrets sleep. A midnight train to nowhere is the only date I keep. A stranger sits across the aisle and opens up a book. It's the very same edition that you once proudly took from the dusty corner store down on 42nd Street. It makes my heart skip softly, a familiar aching beat. I turn my head and close my eyes, pretending I'm asleep. But underneath my heavy lids, the memories run deep. The library is silent, save the turning of a page. The scent of aging paper puts the present in a cage. I pulled an old biography from the bottom of the stack to find a hidden piece of you that I was handed back. A ticket from a gallery we visited in May, pressed between the chapters of a love that slipped away. The dust motes dance in sunlight, filtering through the pane. I trace your slanted handwriting and feel the phantom rain. A bookmark in the fall, a chapter left undone, a tiny piece of history hidden from the sun. We closed the cover early, we never read the end. We went from being everything to not quite even friends. Now your words are resting in a story not our own. A bookmark in the fall, a love we've outgrown. You wrote to my forever on the back end, faded blue. A permanent ambition for a time that never knew. How quickly seasons pivot, how the autumn strips the trees, how easily forever gets scattered by the breeze. I sit beside the radiator, feeling the old heat, remembering the rhythm of your footsteps on my street. The librarian is shelving books, oblivious and kind. I hold the little slip of paper, leaving now behind. A bookmark in the fall, a chapter left undone, a tiny piece of history hidden from the sun. We closed the cover early, we never read the end. We went from being everything to not quite even friends. Now your words are resting in a story not our own. A bookmark in the fall, a love we've outgrown. I think about the gallery, the paintings on the wall, the abstract strokes of color that didn't make sense at all. You said you saw a tempest, I only saw the sky. We spent an hour debating without ever asking why. Perhaps that was the prologue to the ending of the tale. Two different sets of eyes looking at the same detail. In the fall, a chapter left undone, a tiny piece of history hidden from the sun. We closed the cover early, we never read the end. We went from being everything to not quite even friends. Now your words are resting in a story not our own. A bookmark in the fall, a love we've outgrown. The neon sign is flickering in velvet shades of blue. The awning drips with autumn rain, a melancholy hue. I take my corner seat and watch the shadows on the street. A quiet jazz trio begins, their tempo soft and sweet. I wear the silver watch you gave, the one that runs too slow, as if it wants to keep me in the time we used to know. The waiter pours the water, he doesn't ask me why. I trace the rim of empty glass and let the moments fly. A table by the window, a setting just for one, but memory pulls a second chair before the night is done. I taste the bitter coffee, I hear the brush snare sigh, still looking for your silhouette in every passerby. The candles flicker softly to a song we couldn't save. A table by the window is the beautiful mistake I crave. I'm wrapped inside the cashmere coat you bought me in the fall. The pockets hold the movie stubs we didn't need at all. I promised I would throw them out when winter came around, but here I am, still holding on to everything I found. The scent of cedar wood and rain is fading from the thread, just like the unsaid promises we carried in our head. The waiter takes the saucer, he offers a polite smile. I nod and say, I think I'll stay and listen for a while. A table by the window, a setting just for one, but memory pulls a second chair before the night is done. I taste the bitter coffee, I hear the brushed snare sigh, still looking for your silhouette in every passerby. The candles flicker softly to a song we couldn't save. A table by the window is the beautiful mistake I crave. A couple at the corner booth is laughing in the low light. It shatters through the quiet jazz and gently breaks the night. It brings me back to Sunday morns, the coffee and the news, when you would read the paper and I'd hum away the blues. Now silence is the only guest that sits across from me, a silent, well-dressed phantom in this quiet symphony. A table by the window, a setting just for one, but memory pulls a second chair before the night is done. I taste the bitter coffee, I hear the brushed snare sigh, still looking for your silhouette in every passerby. The candles flicker softly to a song we couldn't save. A table by the window is the beautiful mistake I crave. The curtain falls securely on the final cabaret. The audience has gathered up their coats and walked away. I sit before the vanity, the mirror lined with lights, removing all the makeup from 100 lonely nights. I wipe away the ruby red, the powder and the gold, revealing just a woman growing elegantly old. A bouquet of white roses slowly wilting on the chair. I pull the silver bobby pins completely from my hair. Backstage mirrors show the truth the spotlight tries to hide, a panoramic vision of the emptiness inside. I sang of grand romances, of the stars and of the moon, but underneath the costume I am just a quiet room. The costumes and the feathers hide a complicated scar. The backstage mirror knows exactly who we truly are. You used to wait right by the door, a shadow in the hall. You'd hold my heavy overcoat, you'd answer every call. But the tour went on too long, the miles began to grow, and you became a spectator outside the traveling show. I see your face behind me in the reflection of the glass, a phantom of a lover that I foolishly let pass. The theater is empty now, the cleaning crew is gone. I stare into my own two eyes until the early dawn. Backstage mirrors show the truth the spotlight tries to hide, a panoramic vision of the emptiness inside. I sang of grand romances, of the stars and of the moon, but underneath the costume I am just a quiet room. The costumes and the feathers hide a complicated scar. The backstage mirror knows exactly who we truly are. Final light bulb off, the room descends to black. There is no use in crying for the things you can't get back. I Wrap my silk scarf tightly around my weary throat and step out through the alleyway, a solitary note. The city streets are shining in the midnight pouring rain, a grand dramatic theater for a very quiet pain. We play our roles to perfection, we memorize the script, we drink the sweetest poison that we practically have sipped. But when the show is over and the velvet curtains close, the mirror is the only one who absolutely knows. Backstage mirrors show the truth the spotlight tries to hide, a panoramic vision of the emptiness inside. I sang of grand romances, of the stars and of the moon, but underneath the costume I am just a quiet room. The costumes and the feathers hide a complicated scar. The backstage mirror knows exactly who we truly are. I found the cardboard box we packed away in memory, hidden in the closet where the shadows guarantee a sanctuary for the things we didn't want to keep, the souvenirs that only make quiet woman weep. I pulled the old record player from beneath the heavy sheet and plugged it in the socket where the wall and carpet meet. The needle drops with a familiar crackling kind of grace, bringing back the atmosphere of this forgotten place. There's dust on the vinyl, but the melody remains, a symphony of history that runs inside my veins. We danced inside the kitchen when the world was young and brave. Now I'm sitting on the floor beside the memories I save. The saxophones are weeping in a scratchy vintage tone. Dust on the vinyl singing to me all alone. The second track was always the one you love the most. You'd hold me by the waist and we would act as if the host of some invisible ballroom in the middle of the night, guided by the refrigerator's neon yellow light. The label on the record has a coffee stain or two, a permanent reminder of a clumsy, sweet debut. The turntable revolves in a hypnotic, dizzy spin. I close my eyes and let the jazz soak softly through my skin. There's dust on the vinyl, but the melody remains a symphony of history that runs inside my veins. We danced inside the kitchen when the world was young and brave. Now I'm sitting on the floor beside the memories I saved. The saxophones are weeping in a scratchy vintage tone. Dust on the vinyl, singing to me all alone. The song begins to fade into the static of the groove. My limbs are feeling heavy and I hardly want to move. The silence in the apartment is louder than before. The music was a blanket that is lying on the floor. I lift the silver needle and I gently turn it off and wrap myself entirely in a memory so soft. We are grooves upon a record, worn away by time. We lost the gentle rhythm and we couldn't find the rhyme. But the music that we made was undeniably a piece of art that gave my heavy soul a beautiful release. There's dust on the vinyl, but the melody remains a symphony of history that runs inside my veins. We danced inside the kitchen when the world was young and brave. Now I'm sitting on the floor beside the memories I save. The saxophones are weeping in a scratchy vintage tone. Dust on the vinyl, singing to me all alone. I found your silk scarf buried at the bottom of the drawer, a casualty of packing up the life we had before. I held it to my face and closed my eyes against the light, and suddenly I'm back inside that January night. We were standing by the taxi with the snow upon your hair, a heavy sweet vanilla scent lingering in the air. The fabric is so delicate it slips between my hands, a woven map of memories I cannot understand. A fading perfume is a dangerous disguise. It bypasses the logic and goes straight into the eyes. It brings you to my ghost born out of chemistry that I cannot refuse. I try to wash the scent away, but memory's too deep. A fading perfume is the only company I keep. I wore that scent for years because you bought it in Paris. A little glass bottle of an elegant debris. When the bottle finally emptied, I refused to buy some more. I let the fragrance vanish like your footsteps from the door. But the scarf absorbed the essence of a love that used to be. A stubborn little fragment of our ruined history. I fold the silk meticulously, precise and very slow, deciding if I have the strength to truly let it go. A fading perfume is a dangerous disguise. It bypasses the logic and goes straight into the eyes. It brings you to my living room in vivid, striking hues. A ghost born out of chemistry that I cannot refuse. I try to wash the scent away, but memory's too deep. A fading perfume is the only company I keep. The scent is getting weaker with every passing year. Eventually the chemistry will fully disappear. And when the silk smells only of the drawer and of the dust, I'll know that time has conquered the betrayal and the trust. But for tonight, I'll let the sweet vanilla fill the room and hold a silent funeral for fading perfume. We are bound by the invisible, the senses we ignore. The way a smell can open up a tightly bolted door. I breathe you in entirely, one final deep embrace, before I put the scarf back in its quiet resting place. A fading perfume is a dangerous disguise. It bypasses the logic and goes straight into the eyes. It brings you to my living room in vivid, striking hues. A ghost born out of chemistry that I cannot refuse. I try to wash the scent away, but memory's too deep. A fading perfume is the only company I keep. The party in the penthouse is 1,000,000 miles away. I slipped out of the side door didn't have a word to say. The champagne was too bitter and the jazz was much too bright. I needed the companionship of the November night. I'm walking down the avenue, the street is slick with rain. The rhythm of my walking brings a comfort to the pain. The streetlights turn the puddles into mirrors on the floor. I'm walking far away from what I cannot look for anymore. Footsteps on cobblestone, echoing so clear. A solitary rhythm that is beautiful to hear. The city is my orchestra, the rain is my refrain. I'm washing off the memory in the middle of the lane. I don't need the crowded rooms to tell me who I am, just my footsteps on the cobblestone, escaping from the sham. I passed the little bakery where we would buy our bread. The awning is rolled up, the neon sign is dead. It doesn't make me cry the way it did a year ago. The bleeding of the heart has slowed down to a gentle flow. My heels are clicking loudly like a metronome of grace. I'm moving forward slowly at a calculated pace. The wind blows through the alleyways, a chilling, sudden gust. I pull my collar higher, putting forward all my trust. Footsteps on cobblestone, echoing so clear. A solitary rhythm that is beautiful to hear. The city is my orchestra, the rain is my refrain. I'm washing off the memory in the middle of the lane. I don't need the crowded rooms to tell me who I am, just my footsteps on the cobblestone, escaping from the sham. Building rises at the end of the long block. I find my silver keys to go and open up the lock. I step inside the lobby, leaving all the wet behind, and take a quiet moment just to organize my mind. The silence of the hallway is a welcome, warm embrace. I wipe the dripping rainwater completely from my face. We walk a million miles to find the center of our soul. We fracture into pieces just to ultimately be whole. The journey is a solitary walk in the extreme, a beautiful awakening inside a heavy dream. Footsteps on cobblestone, echoing so clear. A solitary rhythm that is beautiful to hear. The city is my escaping from the sham. The rotary telephone sits heavy on the stand, a vintage piece of plastic resting underneath my hand. I memorize your number for the 1000th time tonight, bathed entirely in the glow of street lamps' amber light. I turn the heavy dial, hear the mechanical click. The rotation of the wheel makes my heavy heart beat quick. But I stop before the final digit, pulling back my hand, leaving our connection in a solitary land. Midnight Rotary, the silence on the line. I'm drinking down the memories like a bitter vintage wine, a symphony of dial tones, a buzzing in the ear. I'm dialing up the courage, but I'm hanging up on fear. The wire stretches miles across the sleeping, quiet town, but the receiver in my hand is always put back down. You're sitting by the phone across the bay, practicing the monologue you didn't get to say. Or maybe you are sleeping, completely unaware of the static and the frequency that charges up the air. I twist the coiled cord tightly around my fingertip, a physical reminder of the heavy, sudden slip. The clock is moving slowly in the corner of the room. I lift the heavy handset in the middle of the gloom. Midnight Rotary, the silence on the line. I'm drinking down the memories like a bitter vintage wine, a symphony of dial tones, a buzzing in the ear. I'm dialing up the courage, but I'm hanging up on fear. The wire stretches miles across the sleeping, quiet town, but the receiver in my hand is always put back down. it ring a bit. The sudden pulse of bravery begins to slowly quit. It rings exactly twice before I panic and I fold, returning the receiver to the cradle, dark and cold. It's better left a mystery, a question in the air, than hearing a distracted voice pretending it can care. The coffee in my heavy mug has lost its bitter heat. The neon diner sign reflects across the empty street. I'm sitting in the corner booth where we would often hide, watching raindrops race along the window's chilly side. The waitress wipes the counter with a tired, silent grace. She leaves me to the shadows of this solitary place. The jukebox hums a quiet tune, a static lullaby. I stir the sugar slowly, letting old illusions die. Neon diner at 3 a.m., a sanctuary of the lost. We gambled all our midnights, never calculating the cost. Now I trace the diner menu, reading words I do not see, with a mesmerizing sorrow wrapping tightly around me. The red lights blink like heartbeats of a city wearing down, just another lonely woman in a sleeping velvet town. You always ordered cherry pie and ate it much too fast. We spoke about the future, never looking at the past. But futures have a funny way of shifting in the dark and leaving you abandoned in an unfamiliar park. I see your phantom sitting in the vinyl seat across a beautifully constructed, devastating kind of loss. A truck goes rolling past the glass, a rumble in the floor. I turn my head and half expect you walking through the door. Neon diner at 3 a.m., a sanctuary of the lost. We gambled all our midnights, never calculating the cost. Now I trace the diner menu, reading words I do not see, with a mesmerizing sorrow wrapping tightly around me. The red lights blink like heartbeats of a city wearing down, just another lonely town. Ticking toward the dawn. The magic of the midnight hour is absolutely gone. I leave a couple silver coins beside my empty plate and button up my winter coat, accepting of my fate. I step into the morning fog, the streetlights fading pale. Another chapter finished in a solitary tale. We were kings and queens of midnight, ruling over empty chairs. Now we're strangers in the daylight, walking up our separate stairs. I'll carry this small memory in the pocket of my coat, a beautiful unfinished and deeply quiet note. Neon diner at 3 a.m., a sanctuary of the lost. We gambled all our midnights, never calculating the cost. Now I trace the diner menu, reading words I do not see, with a mesmerizing sorrow wrapping tightly around me. The red lights blink like heartbeats of a city wearing down, just another lonely woman in a sleeping velvet town. The jazz club in the basement is half empty by midnight. The bartender is polishing the glasses in the light. I sit at our old table in the corner by the stair, listening to the trio playing songs we used to share. Upon the wooden coat rack stands a heavy overcoat, a ghost of someone's lover left without a parting note. The fabric smells of cedar, rain and cigarettes, a silent wool companion to a night of slow regrets. The empty coat is hanging like a shadow on the wall, a monument to someone who forgot to make the call. It reminds me of the evening that you walked out in the rain and left your jacket on the chair to amplify the pain. Now I am drinking bourbon, watching someone else's ghost. The empty coat is toasting to the things we miss the most. The saxophone is crying in a key of deep despair. The smoke is hanging heavy in the unconditioned air. I wonder who it belongs to. Did he leave it in a rush? Did she tell him it was over in a sudden icy hush? We leave our little pieces in the places we depart. button or a jacket or a fraction of a heart. The waitress clears the glasses with a sympathetic nod in this underground asylum, playing music to the yard. The empty coat is hanging like a shadow on the wall, a monument to someone who forgot to make the call. It reminds me of the evening that you walked out in the rain and left your jacket on the chair to amplify the pain. Now I am drinking bourbon, watching someone else's ghost. The empty coat is toasting to the things we miss the most. The final song, a melancholy blues, the patron saint of lovers who have nothing left to lose. A man walks to the coat rack, takes the jacket off the hook. He slips it on his shoulders with a devastating look. He leaves the club alone, disappearing in the grave, and takes the last reminder of my broken heart away. We attach our weary sorrows to the objects in the room. We build a little altar in the middle of the gloom. But the overcoat was just a coat, and you are just a man, and I will slowly heal exactly as I know I can. The empty coat is gone now, just a hook upon the wall. There are no monuments to us, there is nothing left to fall. It reminds me of the evening that you walked out in the rain, but the bourbon finally washed away the residue of pain. The staircase, leaving all the ghosts behind. The empty coat is just a story fading from my mind. The chandeliers are dripping in 100 crystal tears. The brass upon the luggage carts has polished up the years. I'm waiting in the lobby on a tufted velvet chair, watching bellhops carry bags with a practiced weary flair. We used to meet right by the clock at 1/4 the hour. You'd always bring a secret and a single paper flower. The concierge nods politely, he remembers me, I think. I order a Manhattan and I slowly sip the drink. The Grand Hotel Foyer, a crossroads of goodbyes, a place of brief encounters in beautifully dressed lies. The grand piano echoes with a tune we couldn't name. We played the perfect lovers in an elegant brief game. I check the time again, though I know you won't appear. The Grand Hotel Foyer is the ghost I visit here. The revolving doors are spinning, sweeping in the winter chill. Guests are passing through the hall, but I am sitting still. A man in a fedora reads the paper by the fire, reminding me of all the things we used to so admire. The old world kind of romance, the black and white movie scenes, before we realized reality was tearing at the seams. The ice clinks in my crystal glass, a sharp and lonely sound. I watch the heavy minute hands slowly go around the Grand Hotel Foyer, a crossroads of goodbyes, a place of brief encounters and beautifully dressed lies. The grand piano echoes with a tune we couldn't name. We played the perfect lovers in an elegant brief game. I check the time again, though I know you won't appear. The Grand Hotel Foyer is the ghost I visit here. We knew we were a temporary shelter from the storm. The luxury illusion kept the cold away and warm. But checkout time was pending, the bill was overdue, and I was just a traveler passing briefly next to you. The elevators chimed, you stepped inside and turned away, leaving me the lobby and a debt I couldn't pay. The fog rolls in across the quiet harbor bay. The wooden docks are painted in a solemn shade of gray. I stand beside the ticket booth, the wind against my face, remembering the way we used to occupy this space. You wore a trench coat, holding 2 tickets in your hand, ready to escape into a temporary land. The seagull cries above the water, circling the pier. I pull my collar tight and wish that you were standing here. The last ferry leaves at 9:15, cutting through the water in a slow, steady line. We used to stand on deck and watch the city fade away, believing in the promises we made upon the spray. Now the horn blows softly, echoing into the blue. The last ferry is leaving, and it's leaving without you. I bought a single coffee from the vendor on the street. It burns my hands, but cannot warm the coldness in my feet. I trace the rusted railing where your fingers used to rest, the silver compass hidden in the pocket of my vest. You said it pointed north, but we were heading to the west. A beautiful misdirection that we naturally confessed. The engines start to rumble with a heavy throbbing sound. I watch the mooring lines detaching from the frozen ground. The last ferry leaves at 8:45, cutting through the water in a slow, steady line. We used to stand on deck and watch the city fade away, believing in the promises we made upon the spray. Now the horn blows softly, echoing into the blue. The last ferry is leaving, and it's leaving without you. The taillights of the cars are blurring in the evening mist, a catalog of moments that I've carefully dismissed. The gangway lifts into the air, the heavy iron groans, leaving me entirely, completely on my own. I watch the vessel disappear into the velvet night, a ghost ship carrying the remnants of our failing light. We sailed across the water, but we couldn't reach the shore. We stranded in the middle of a quiet, silent war. I'll walk back to the avenue, I'll take the lonely train, and learn to watch the ocean without feeling all this pain. The last ferry leaves at 8:45, cutting through the water in a slow, steady line. We used to stand on deck and watch the city fade away, believing in the promises we made upon the spray. Now the horn blows softly, echoing into the blue. The last ferry is leaving, and it's leaving without you. The ink is drying slowly on a thick and creamy page. The desk lamp casts a golden ring upon my little stage. I've written down the apologies I couldn't say out loud, the ones I kept securely hidden deep beneath my pride. I detail every afternoon we walked beside the Seine, and give a fortune to just hold your hand again. The clock is ticking softly on the mantle by the fire. I fold the paper neatly, fueled by quiet, dark desire. An unsent letter resting on the mahogany desk, a piece of my anatomy, a beautiful grotesque. I pour my soul in cursive, looping every heavy word, creating a confession that will never once be heard. The postage stamp is useless for a destination gone. I write these unsent letters as the night bleeds into dawn. I slide it in an envelope of vintage ivory and seal it with a candle wax or royal decree of banishment for all the words that linger in my throat. A desperate, romantic and completely tragic note. I write name across the front, exactly as before. Although you do not live upon that avenue anymore. The rain begins to patter on the glass above the sill. The house is deeply quiet and my trembling hands are still. An unsent letter resting on the mahogany desk, a piece of my anatomy, a beautiful grotesque. I pour my soul in cursive, looping every heavy word, creating a confession that will never once be heard. The postage stamp is useless for a destination gone. I write these unsent letters as the night bleeds into dawn. Squeak, I place it with a dozen more, a solitary streak of letters from the winter and the autumn and the spring, a graveyard of the melodies we never got to sing. I lock the drawer securely and I throw the key away. Inside my mind, at least, I let the beautiful words stay. We communicate in silence now, across a massive sea. I hope the wind conveys a subtle fraction of my plea. There is a strange nobility in keeping feelings locked behind a heavy wooden door that isn't ever knocked. An unsent letter resting on the mahogany desk, a piece of my anatomy, a beautiful grotesque. I pour my soul in cursive, looping every heavy word, creating a confession that will never once be heard. The postage stamp is useless for a destination gone. I write these unsent letters as the night bleeds into dawn. and ended up on your street, though I didn't mean to stare. The brownstone looks the same, the ivy climbing up the brick. The sudden rush of memory makes my heart beat slightly quick. The street lamp casts a shadow on the iron-wrought rail, where we used to stand and watch the midnight cars set sail. A different plant is hanging where my orchids used to grow. I stay beneath the awning, making sure my face doesn't show. Third floor balcony, a theater in the sky. We watch the city breathing from a heaven built too high. We shared our cheapest wine and the grandest of our dreams. Now it's just an empty stage, tearing at the seams. I wonder if you step outside to smoke into the night, looking down at empty streets from our forgotten height. I see a silhouette, a flicker of a yellow flame. My mind plays cruel tricks, quietly calling out your name. But it's just a new tenant leaning over the divide, a stranger living in the rooms where our old laughter died. They wear a heavy sweater, staring at the moon above, unaware they're standing on the ruins of our love. I pull my collar higher against the sudden chilling breeze and step into the shadows of the old elm trees. Third floor balcony, a theater in the sky. We watch the city breathing from a heaven built too high. We shared our cheapest wine and the grandest of our dreams. Now it's just an empty stage, tearing at the seams. I wonder if you step outside to smoke into the night, looking down at empty streets from our forgotten height. We painted those walls yellow, though the landlord said no. We promised we would stay there, we promised we would grow. But the winter drafts came blowing through the gaps beneath the door, and we couldn't keep the cold from creeping on the floor. Love became a shivering, a huddling in the dark, until we had to pack our bags and leave the frozen mark. The old theater downtown is showing classic black and white. The neon letters flickering against the winter night. I buy a single ticket from the man behind the glass and watch the busy couples holding umbrellas walking past. We saw Casablanca here in the December of our youth, when we were so convinced we understood the final truth. The smell of roasted peanuts and of butter in the air. I look at the empty seat beside me, wishing you were there. Under the winter marquee, the city passes by. I am watching old romances make the audience cry. The silver screen is glowing in a nostalgic pale blue, but the only cinematic scene I care about is you. The credits roll on a love that couldn't quite endure. Under the winter marquee, holding on to something pure. The velvet curtain rises with a heavy, dusty sigh. The violins swell upward as the camera pans the sky. He used to quote the dialogue before the actors spoke, and I would roll my eyes as if it were a silly joke. But now I'd give a fortune just to hear you speak the lines and trace your silhouette against the glowing exit signs. The projector hums a steady, reassuring kind of tune in this dark cathedral underneath the winter moon. Under the winter marquee, the city passes by. I am watching old romances make the audience cry. The silver screen is glowing in a nostalgic pale blue, but the only cinematic scene I care about is you. The credits roll on a love that couldn't quite endure. Under the winter marquee, holding on to something pure. Upon the misty street, the audience applauds the tragic end, so bittersweet. The house lights slowly brighten, breaking the illusion spell. I gather up my scarf and coat and tell the past farewell. I step out to the pavement where the snow begins to fall, realizing that the ending wasn't tragic after all. We had our 2 hours of magic in the velvet dark. We left a tiny, unrecorded, beautiful little mark. Some stories aren't meant to have a sequel or a ring. They exist simply to teach a frozen heart to sing.